Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the More Than Just a Wedding podcast. Today, we are talking about a topic that I think you will find very helpful, and that is what to look for in a wedding florist. This can be a very overwhelming part of the planning process, but I'm going to give you some bite sized tips and how hopefully this can become a lot easier for you. All right, let's dig in. Number one, style alignment. What's important when you're researching your florist is that you're looking for designs that continuously speak to you. So, if you pay close attention, you'll start to realize there are certain florists that you gravitate towards, regardless of what the colors are or necessarily the scale of the event or the specific florals that they're using. And that is because each individual floral company, they have an artistry of their own kind. And if you have that curated eye, you can start to really pick up continuity between anything they produce. Now, I realize I probably have a more disciplined eye when it comes to this because I've been looking at florals for my whole adult life. So I'm sympathetic in the fact that this may not be the case with everyone. But if you like their work and you continue to like their work and you continue to feel drawn to it, that's what I'm talking about. What you're seeing isn't specifically one design, it's a cohesiveness of their talent and their style. So really follow their work and start to pay attention to, ooh, I like that. And I like that too. That's what you're looking for when I'm talking about style alignment. We have some florists that are very lush and romantic. We have some that are more minimal and give more of an architectural feel to the design. We have some that are kind of wild and lots of organic, free flowing stems. That's what I mean. Pay attention to that and really think of which florist style do you find yourself consistently gravitating towards? Okay, number two, experience in weddings. So, regardless of if it's a florist or any vendor, weddings are a whole different beast. What I mean by that is if someone that shoots photography, family photography, it doesn't mean that they're a wedding photographer. It's a whole different world. Same thing with florists. So you do want to make sure that they have experience in weddings themselves because they need to understand the flow of the day and the logistics of the day. And a skilled florist is going to know that. They're going to anticipate when those personal florals need to be delivered because they're needed for the first look and family photos. They're going to need to know if there are installations happening and what questions and permissions have to be asked of the venue ahead of time. They need to know if there's going to be a flip between the ceremony and the dinner space. And they also need to know what the contingency plans are for possible, a windy day or a rainy day. So experience with weddings is key. Next, ooh, this is a big one for me. Communication and responsiveness. Communication is literally everything in the planning process when it comes to reducing stress levels. So, as you're researching and reaching out for proposals, whether you're doing it yourself or your planner's doing it, ask yourself these questions. Are they prompt? Are they professional? Are they, following up with questions you ask in a timely manner? Are they offering creative suggestions? What does their process look like? A florist that can not only create beautiful florals, but also communicate is huge. Okay. Number four, transparency and budget. This is a tough one. I tell all of our couples that when it comes to budgeting for the wedding, it's pretty easy to do for the most part with all of the puzzle pieces except for the design part. And that's because there are so many options when it comes to the design. And with that, obviously, the florals. So you want to make sure that you have transparency with your florist ahead of time and what your preferred pricing range is. Because there can be weddings with minimal florists on a, minimal flowers with a modest budget, or there can be, extravagant weddings with tons of florals. So know ahead of time what your preferred pricing range is and ask your florist, do you think you can create what I'm looking for within this price range? Do that in the beginning as to the best of your ability, and it's going to save you, again, a lot of time and a lot of stress. And you can ask them, ask your planners, where do you prioritize putting those beautiful blooms at? What are the biggest impact areas of a wedding? And can any of the florals be repurposed at any time? 5, their willingness to collaborate. Collaboration is the key. So you want to make sure that the florist is going to work well with your planner and any other vendors, particularly in the design scope of the wedding. If you're having rentals, if you're having linens, if you're doing lighting, a lot of times there's uh, collaborative measures that have to happen between your floral designer and the other companies to make sure that everything comes together seamlessly. Next, proposals and mood boards. Okay, this one's also a little bit tricky. I would encourage you not to have the expectation for a florist to deliver you a 10-page floral design proposal if you're not a committed client. It's just not, I think, how do I say this the right way? It takes a ton of time to create very specific floral proposals. And a lot of time that happens once you have committed to your floral designer and plans are falling into place. It's very hard to have the expectation that all the floral details are to be mapped out prior to committing to your florist and signing with your florist. Number 7, setup and breakdown and rentals. Huge. Logistics and how the florist is going to handle delivery, setup, and breakdown is a big deal. It's probably more of a big deal to your planner than it is to you, but we need to understand that they know this, and you want to have an understanding of everything that's included. Are they providing any vases, candles, arches, columns? Are they, obviously delivering that on site and picking that up at the end of the night and understanding what the fees are associated with that? Number 8, references and reviews. You always want to check reviews. You always want to ask for, other industry referrals and, do other couples recommend them? You're looking for patterns. You're looking to make sure that they're reliable, creative, calm under pressure. And that's the consistency that would make for a great florist or floral team. So that's a wrap on choosing your wedding florist. I know I shared a lot with you, but be mindful of these things as you're making your selection because the floral part of the wedding process is really fun. It's romantic, it's sentimental, it's what makes weddings so beautiful. So you do want to really enjoy your florist, trust your florist, and be excited about working with your florist. And as I always say, the name of this podcast is More Than Just a Wedding. And that's true when it comes to your flowers. Your flowers are going to speak to you not only on your wedding day, but you're going to reference what flowers you used in your weddings, possibly for the rest of your life. So it's special and it's meaningful. And I want to make sure you make this decision with full confidence and feel excited about it. Thank you for listening today.